The first is a quote from John Corvino's Born This Way video. It was very interesting to me, so here's the quote.
Maybe people think that you need to show that we're born this way in order to prove that it's a deep and important trait about who we are. But that's just false. People aren't born with their religion, but most people think of that as deep and important.
As he points out, there are identities that people aren't necessarily born with but are still important. So he argues that we don't necessarily have to say that LGBTQ people were born this way to make their identities important. So the second reference I had was the freedhearts.org. You can see their mission statement here. They just want to create affirming and positive churches and to preach acceptance of LGBTQ plus people. Also, they have resources for both parents and LGBTQ folks, and then you can see they have videos. They have a YouTube channel that has videos. Within every community that is being oppressed and left behind, the LGBTQ plus people in those communities are suffering the most due to the compounding discrimination they faced at the intersection of their identities. Basically, she's just describing what intersectionality is. That beyond being LGBTQ plus, there are other people that are in oppressed categories like Black and Indigenous and immigrants, and those people aren't any less of LGBTQ plus people. Gina says, ultimately, we all want to love and be loved. We want our basic needs met and to be able to provide for our families. We want a sense of belonging and we want to experience joy and wonder. The LGBTQ plus people just want to be loved, and they just want to love each other, and they want the rights to be able to do that and to live their lives freely and happily. So one of my big aha moments for this term was from watching Love, Simon and the scene where they're in the cafeteria. It's the first day that Simon comes back after he was outed online to the whole school, and they're in the cafeteria. Everyone is visibly uncomfortable and maybe even upset at seeing this take place. Everyone's shocked by it. You can just see it on their faces. But you know what? No one does anything. The only person that says anything is Simon. And I just felt like this was a great parallel to society. Sometimes the LGBTQ plus community has no allies. No one to stand up for them and help them. And they totally face hate and injustice on their own in a lot of cases. So my other aha moment for the term was attending the Woo Drag Show. My takeaway from this whole event was just how absolutely inclusive it was. We saw pretty much all different kinds of gender identities and sexual orientations. There were people of different shapes and sizes and colors and personalities, and we just saw this all rolled into one extremely affirming show where people just cheered throughout the whole thing. Everyone is different. Everyone is their own individual, and I want to be loved as my own individual too. I thought this quote was very interesting because even though the person is using it to describe their bisexuality, I felt like it was very applicable to really everyone of the LGBTQ plus, that everyone is different. Everyone has their own personalities, and everyone just wants to be loved for who they are. So the issues that I want to focus on going into the future is trans rights and LGBTQ plus people of color. Both of those groups are fairly marginalized in our society, and I want to focus on getting their rights and making sure that they're equal to the rest of the LGBT community, that we can have LGBTQ plus equality for the future, and then also focusing again on groups that are more marginalized, like people of color that are also LGBTQ plus, and making sure that they're getting the attention and the rights that they deserve in our country. Looking to the future and where I see the LGBTQ plus movement going, I think we're going to continue to see some positive changes. In the coming years of 10 to 20 and beyond, I think we'll continue seeing the green states popping up on our LGBT map. on the website. And I think that we'll continue seeing more rights and protections for LGBTQ plus individuals. So my takeaways for this class is that this was just really important to me. I have many different friends and acquaintances and some family members that fall into these LGBTQ plus identities, and through this class I just got to learn more about the community and how to help and some of the issues that they face, and those were just really important to me for how I can be a better ally and how I can help the LGBTQ plus community. I just feel like overall that was really important to me to better understand the community that I'm so connected with in my life.